I chose Weichert because of the support. I feel like we're constantly supporting everybody, and we need support ourselves. So when I came and interviewed, I felt so welcome. I felt like I was gonna have the support that I needed to succeed. So that's why I chose Weichert.
I would say the loyalty. I think loyalty is important just when building relationships anywhere, whether it's with family, friends. I personally look at Eileen and Weichert as a family, and I feel like with loyalty comes trust, and you got to be able to trust the person that you're working with. And I feel that the loyalty just that the whole entire administration gives is just top tier.
Yeah. And here you're not only like a number like in other brokerage. It's like here you're a yeah, like you're really family, and that's how I feel, I feel the same way. And also like, with other brokerage that you have, the online, which is really cool too, but like having an actual office and having this type of, service for our clients, I think is like super, super important. Like they're always impressed when they come into the office and they see how beautiful it is. They see the service that we have. They see all the staff that's all for them. So I think that's a very important thing also to do in business.
Yeah, I would say definitely Eileen is a major reason why I chose to come here. I had interviewed with other brokerages and I really liked Eileen and what she was offering. And she just has our best interest at heart. I think that's really important as an agent, especially newer agent coming in. So that's why I chose Weichert and I'm happy with my decision.
And I also love how she continues to evolve with the way the world is going in. I think it's important to, she's always open to listening to the ideas that we may have to have us all evolve as a family and as our business grows. And I think it's important to evolve with the world and think about things that will help us to be the best version of ourselves and be that superstar that our clients needs us to be. So that's important.
Yeah, 100%.
So again, with being here with at Weichert Premier, I do feel that they're always giving us opportunity to have events. With us being, on Main Street in Morristown, whether it's Daffodil Day or Halloween, Christmas, there's always something that, and that kind of is very, not kind of, it is very extremely important when you're in a business where you have to be self-disciplined. So to be able to have that opportunity or even just that option of coming out and having an office that's going to supply the table, the tents, the marketing, and then also with you ladies, of course, having, you guys are like so beautiful, inside and out. And I just really love working with you guys. So I feel like also when Eileen is deciding on who is going to be a Weichert Premier agent, she thinks about that. She puts that into big consideration. So I don't think it's a coincidence that we all mesh together. Like she knew exactly what she was doing. So that is the one thing that I absolutely love.
And the support, right? Like the support that we all have for each other and, everybody here in the office, like every single person, I feel like every time I come, everybody is like very supportive, very loving, very, I don't know. It's how we said it before. It's an actual family,
And within growing that family, I think it's important, like with each and every one of you guys, there's diversity. So you get a little bit of everybody's culture. As I was saying earlier, Floor, every time I see you, I think about the floral and the flowers and the colors. And then when I see Tammy, she has her different color blocks. And, everybody brings a unique type of style to the business and to building those relationships that I think is important.
And I also think we're each individual agents, but we also work together as a team everywhere we go. It's just nice to have that, and the support from everybody. You can call anybody and anybody is willing to help.
Yeah, I just love each and every one of you's energy. We all want to see each other win. We don't just care about ourselves. And I would say that about the entire office, even experienced agents, like they want to see everyone win. And I really like that.
And the one thing that just really stood out to me, even as we dive into being together as a team is Eileen allowing us into her home. You don't have many brokers and managers who invite you into their intimate space where you're actually able to, see how they do things outside of the workplace. Having us all be at that holiday party each year, the Christmas party, and just getting to know each other on a different level outside of work. We work, but she gives us the opportunity to play as well.
Boat trips.
Exactly. The boat trips. I mean, the boat trip is top tier. Top tier. I mean, anybody who have not seen our boat trip, it's top tier. I mean, from the boat.
Other brokers.
Yes, that does that. Yes.
Shows a difference.
Yes, it does.
It's their heart. It's
And
their
each
heart.
year you are like, aren't you guys like, it's like the anticipation of like, the weather is breaking. It's boat time. We know we're going to get on this boat.
Do that this year. We need to make sure we're on there. Yeah.
And I think that's the unique part of who she stands for as representing Weichert, and then as a whole, just making us feel like we have that genuine love and support. People can show support all day long, but is it genuine? You know what I mean? So I think that that's important, and it makes you feel good about yourself. It makes you feel good about who you're working for, and that's the integral part about working for, being a part of just Weichert in general. So
Best of both worlds.
Family and work.
family and work, yes. It never feels like you're working when you're with your family.
It's always fun. It's always positive energy.
Yeah.
We always check in with one another, see how everyone is doing. So I also it's not just about work. We also have those mental check-ins with each other,
Which is
Super important.
Yeah.
Especially with real estate. Real estate is 24/7, and it
Can be
sometimes can be stressful and draining for you to have a community that you can go to. It's just,
Let's talk about the WhatsApp. I mean, we get messages 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning from Eileen. We're ready. Are you guys up? The driven messages that we get, that WhatsApp keeps me going, because it's like you're constantly, even behind the scenes, we're working, but everybody's sharing ideas and giving each other recommendations, even off the, I mean, that's what keeps me going. Just seeing everybody sharing their, what they're doing in the day-to-day life with their clients. And Flora, you got your staging, and everybody has like their unique pieces that they bring. So there's a lot of people that do things outside of the real estate that keeps us going. You know what I mean? So I think that just the WhatsApp and everybody staying connected is what keeps me driven, and like, you can't stop. You got to keep going.
Yeah, the support, the motivation.
The sales meeting.
The sales meetings,
I
yes.
think having sales meeting every other week, like that is really important. And even though sometimes, we can't make them all like we would want, because, we're busy with serving clients and everything. I think it's very important to everybody getting into one place, and then having Eileen explain different topics that is happening in the industry, and bringing in experts of every different area. So we're gonna have legal come in, and we're gonna be having a big discussion about everything that's going on right now in the market. And I think that's very important to keep us in the game and keep us informed, and to be able to help our clients with more information.
I definitely think that she constantly allows myself, and you guys can speak for yourself as well, but like keeping real estate on your mind all the time. Like, it's like, even when you have those days where you're getting discouraged, it's like, here she goes. And she's like, okay, here we go. Yes. I mean, the videos and what she's put out in the atmosphere, you can never be discouraged. Like, you're always just having real estate on your mind. And like she always says, if this is something that you are truly passionate about, you're always going to be thinking of ways to produce and put yourself out there and build your clientele. So I think that that's important, because we don't look at this as a job. We look at it as a career, and we look at it as what we're passionate about doing. So I think that's important too.
Now, Weichert Premier definitely keeps you motivated and inspired. And I think inspired is even more important than being motivated, because that's what's going to really push you.
Yeah.
And, being here just really, like you said, with the WhatsApp, the events, the sales meetings, like if you don't get like pushed just a tiny bit, then I don't know, maybe you're in the wrong industry, because you're really going to get that here. You're gonna get that here. Yeah, it's constantly in front of you. It's constantly, so it's very hard not to do at least something. So I would say.
Yeah.
Morristown, no, Morristown, I would say is it speaks for itself. Very desirable. And I think that, again, with being in the center of it, it also opens up a lot of opportunity to be in a market with Morristown.
There has been a lot of, questions about what has been going on in the market, what's going to happen with the, commissions, especially in the buyer side and everything like that. And we just gotta, inform our buyers the right way and give them the right information. And again, we are constantly having training, which is really, really good for us and for us to be able to serve our clients and give the right information to them, because sometimes we all know, like, the media say certain things that sometimes it's not even what it's actually happening and what we see happening every single day in the marketplace. I mean, we're having open houses that are full with clients that we have, like, 55 70 groups, like, and that's what we want to share, because there's some people out there that they need to sell their homes, and they need to, and they're sometimes afraid of, like, what's going to happen with the interest rates going up and everything. But we just gotta inform, and we just gotta say, okay, this is what we're seeing in the marketplace, and be there for them.
The good thing is that we have been preparing ourselves for everything since a year ago, since everything started. So we have constant trainings. We have all the information that we need. Eileen stays on top of everything at all times, and then comes back to us and, lets us know what's going on, what we need to do, and how we need to prepare our buyers, our sellers. And it's just great support again.
Yeah, I think we hear it even before it hits the
Yeah,
market.
we do.
So it's like it's nice to have someone who's constantly making themselves knowledgeable to be able to help their team be the best and produce the best in this business. Because like Flora and Tammy said earlier, we are in a constant market where it's constantly evolving. Whether it's Morristown, Mount Laurel, we want to make sure that we are the best experts for our clients, and we know this market. So I think having a broker who stays up all night long. I mean, I don't know a person who texts 4 and 5 in the morning and is like, read this. And, this is what's going on. I mean, before we even get a chance to even read it ourselves, she's already informing us. So I think that even now, with such the changes that are happening, we're already prepared. Like, I just signed a buyer's agency agreement on the hood of a car. Like, it's just, just being prepared to have these changes in place. I feel like it's never something that's like, whoa, what's happening? Because she makes sure that we know it, and she drills it in our head, and we get it, and we got it.
And she gives us the strategies to be able to work through what's happening in the marketplace, because there's always going to be change, but you gotta go with the wave.
And constantly educate yourself. And that's one of the things that, like you mentioned, Kamisha, definitely, preparing us for that, and, just keeping that knowledge going, because, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. So the fact that, she has a house full of seasoned agents, she's constantly even trying to teach them things. I know you were in it for 20 years, but this is not 20 years ago. Right. Yeah. So, yeah.
And giving hope. So, in this industry, like I stated earlier, if you're passionate about it, you're going to go for it. But, sometimes, she knows the thinking process of her agents. So when something happens, she's like, you're not going to go get a part-time job. What's happening? You're going to stay right here, and I'm going to be with you 100%, guiding you through. This is what we need. This is how we stay the strong team that we are. You got to have somebody as strong as her backing you. And every single day, like I told her, have your loyalty be with someone like that, because it's nothing. If you don't got loyalty, you ain't got nothing.
I also want to mention she's always available for one-on-one meetings too.
Like the mentorship.
Anytime you need her, she's available.
So even for a call, because I have called her and she picks up. If she doesn't pick up, she gets back to me right away, or she texts me, and I'm I'm constantly calling. I'm like, I have a question. So for us to have someone always accessible is just,
Yeah, even with her busy schedule, she
Yeah.
always makes sure she's available. And if she's not, she points us to someone who is. Like Frank, we have a lot of support in the office.
Yes.
Yes.
I really, really appreciate that.
Robert. Yes.
Frank.
Yes.
I love my friend.
My mindset
Okay.
has grown. Like when I first started this business, I had a part-time job. And, a lot of times people come into the business for the wrong reasons. It could be for the money, but when you truly are passionate about building relationships with people and, having an industry where you can build your own schedule, it changes your mindset. That immature mindset to I want to be a boss mindset. That's how I've changed. I just feel that just having that one-on-one with Eileen, I meet with her now every other week. We're always masterminding on how I can continue to build my business. So I never think about going to that 9-to-5 job because she's always helping me to stay level-headed and to stay, okay, if I'm doing this, what's next? What's helping you? So I think the mindset has changed in a way where you're constantly thinking about how you can stay on the platform and not walk away from it. So for me, there's definitely been exponential growth. The conversations are different because when you create small goals for yourself, you take those small goals and she's like, okay, if you're thinking long term, you want to kind of shrink that in and think about the little things that you know you can achieve, right? And I think that those things have helped me to build a bigger platform. So,
No, I completely agree. I think, her mentorship has been something that has helped me grow a lot. Like, I mean, since I, moved brokerage and like, I remember, since meeting her for the first time, like I just knew that was the place that I wanted to be and with the people that I wanted to be. And then, having one-on-ones with her every single week and like her giving me feedback and her giving me, ideas of how to, approach people and education and again, the mentorship, right? And her believing in my, my skills to help clients. And I remember, I started with listings and normally you start with, buyers. And to me, I was passionate about helping people sell their homes because I knew, okay, if we stage the house, then we can, make it look super nice to sell it for top dollar. Thank you. I gotta record more behind the scenes because but yeah, I mean it really makes a difference. And then I have a marketing background, and to me with that I'm able to market the property to again get top dollar, and she helped me put those skills in order and like having a strategy to help my sellers. So that was amazing. And then from then on I have been building a lot of relationships with clients, a lot of I do most of my business is listings, and I just love helping them. I love seeing their faces when they come in and they see the transformation of their house, and it's like, is that my house? Now they don't want to sell it. I'm like, no, we're selling it. You still need to sell it. But yeah, it's been a great experience, and again, I always say to her, like, I admire her. It's somebody that I look up to, and I don't know, having that is amazing, and I'm so grateful to have her as our mentor, our friend, our broker. So
And I think it's also important, I feel like from my business, especially because I am constantly running around, and I feel like we all are, but I feel like me, I overdo it. So with me, convenience is extremely important. So to be able to have somebody at the desk like Jean, where I can call and it's like, can I send you this? And she's like, just send it to me. I'll put it in there for you. It's never getting in there with me. Or Robert, where it's like, I do need to design this real quick. Can you help me with this? And it's like done in 2.5.
the listing presentation.
The listing presentations, like these are things that you have to have for your business. And I feel like sometimes we shy away from it. And yes, we're providing service, but you also want to provide quality. And with Weichert Premier, I feel like you can target both of those because of the support that they provide. So I feel like for my business, that has been an extreme for me. So.
And let's just talk about how she even takes out of her own pocket to create such masterpieces. Yes, like, when she believes in something, she will take it out of her own pocket and invest it into us. So that means it just means a lot. It does.
And it's so professional. I mean, if you like, I don't know you guys, but like, I've gotten so many compliments by, presenting this. There's sometimes that you go out and you have to compete with other agents from other places, and they see this and they're like, oh wow, okay, I'm talking to a professional, and again, there's obviously a lot of other professionals from other brokerages, but I think like this sets us apart. Like, this is one thing, but out of many, but I feel confident when I show into a listing presentation with this. Like, I feel confident.
Oh, well, I'm going to just tell you one thing. You got to have a nice suit jacket, and you got to have a nice pair of stiletto heels in the closet. They don't got to be red bottoms, but close to it. A pointy toe heel and a nice blazer will do it every time.
Yes, definitely look professional at all times and throw your own style in there. But for me, I always want to look professional and just well put together.
Yes.
Professional and cute.
Never leave the house like without being put together, because you never know who you're gonna run into. My mom always told me that. So like, we're going to I'm gonna go print something at the office. Okay, let me get my blazer out.
First impressions are important,
Eileen always talks about that too.
Exactly.
She always says, "Are you ready to sell a home?" I remember the one time she said that during the meeting.
Ready up.
Mm-hmm.
She always says that.
And even when we're out, like I remember, you do. But when we're out, like, people approach us, and then you have more conversations with them because they're like, oh, what do they do, So
Are you guys in a new building?
Exactly. Yes.
I had somebody come in one day when we first moved in. They're like, can I just take a look at the building? They're like, sure, come on in.
And the industry that we're in, I feel like whether we want to be content creators or not, we are. We just are. We have to, because that's how this industry works. That's how, if we want to build, you have to. So just looking the part always. And again, you can still be comfortable and you can still, look nice. And I feel like that's also important. So,
but what Eileen said all the time, like, you cannot be a secret agent, you have to, show up and be your best self, and like, I think looking nice, it makes you feel good too. Makes you feel professional. It makes you feel, and if you're feeling good and if you're doing good, you're gonna be the best self for your clients.
That energy is gonna just streak out to everybody. So, and it makes them feel good. My first sale, I love my first sale. Hold on.
I wish I could relate.
No, I really just I think it was just, I went in there and I knew a little bit about something. I feel like I did have, some pretty well training. So when I first started, just being able to get the best training and speaking the lingo was extremely important to me. I didn't care about splits. I didn't care about the money. I just wanted to, have that comfortability of having that conversation. And when I went in there, I was actually, the selling agent was an investor. So he was just like, he didn't really care too much. So it made it a little bit easier for me because he wasn't just like, nah, nah, nah. He was like, whatever. So I was just so excited. So when I went to go show the property, he was actually there. So I had the opportunity to speak to him, which I felt like that was like beautiful because I was able to, express myself. He saw how excited I was. I was excited to be there, And but me being like that excited, that energy just drew to him. And I remember him calling me the next day and was like, look, I like you. I like your clients. If they want the property, just look, they could just give me asking. I'm fine with that. I'll pick you. It's fine. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, you gave me this warm, fuzzy feeling. Oh my God, I gave you warm. Oh my God. So I was just like, oh my God, I'm so excited. So yeah. So, and then, we did that, and typically, well, I guess, well, it all, I'm not gonna get into that, but I was so excited that I'm like, yeah, I'll do the contract. I don't even know how to do a contract. I'll support here. I had the support.
Right.
So I'm like, I'll send it over. And but he was like, okay, that's fine. But it did. It went very smooth. My clients were super happy because they had actually been looking for a year. And I was in school, and it was actually one of my close friends. And she's like, if you're really serious, then I'm going to wait, because it's been a year and I'm just going to pause. And if you're telling me that you're going to get it in less than 6 months, I'll wait.
That was nice.
And I did. And that was, I think that was the second day we went to look for houses. And that was the first offer we put in, and we got it. So, yeah. So it was really sweet. It was nice.
My first sale, I remember they called me from the office actually, and they were like, "We need a Spanish agent."
Oh,
And
look at that.
called you
Nice.
first, and you didn't do it. Yeah. They were like, "We got Amanda, but she's not available. We need a Spanish agent ASAP. They want to see the house right now."
Okay.
I was like, "Okay, I can meet them over there. 30-minute drive. I can meet them over there." And I don't even remember the time, but met them there. I had a conversation with them. I showed them the house, and they were like, "Can you please be our agent?" They were so sweet. And the mom's like,
family, or
it was a mom with the son. The son was the one that was purchasing the house that they were all gonna live in.
Okay, nice.
The mom was like, "Can you please?" She was so sweet. "Can you please be our agent?" 10 minutes in, she was like, like, you have this, you have this energy to you, like you really care. So I was like, yeah. So it was about the third house that we went to see, and we put in an offer. So it was just great because it was 6 months into me being a real estate agent, and that was my first sale. And I remember sitting with Eileen like, what is going on? And she's like, that's like a typical for first agents. And I went into the market when it was horrible. It was that interest rates spiked market, and I was like, oh my God, am I gonna make it as a real estate agent?
Right, yeah.
But it was just great. It was a great learning experience. I did learn a lot. Every step of the way, they did guide me with everything. So I had that support, and
they called you.
and then they called me, and they called me recently. They're like, "We want to buy another house." So,
That is awesome.
That was my first sale.
That is
It
awesome.
felt good because they were immigrants, and they wanted to buy their first home, and they they were working towards that American dream life, and I was part of it. So
That's amazing.
Awesome.
Emotional.
It is emotional, right?
Yeah.
You're getting me emotional about that.
I think that's also why, like, when I started real estate, I also wanted that. Like, I also wanted to be able to help other people that didn't understand English, and that I was able, to help them with their questions and things like that, because, it's hard. It's hard, speaking the language. And if you don't speak the language, it's even more difficult, so I can relate to that. But in terms of like my first deal, it was actually a great experience too. So it was in my neighborhood. I just by like walking with my dog, literally, I met some incredible people, and one of them told me, "Oh, I heard that you became a realtor and stuff, and there's a gentleman that just lost his wife a couple of years ago, and he's been trying to sell his house by himself, like it was up for sale by owner." and he, he was going, first of all, through a rough time in his life, and then, he didn't have the guidance, he didn't have, the support, and he was trying, at the time, he was trying to sell the house for 300,000, and it wasn't selling, it wasn't anything. So he said, well, why don't you go and knock in their door and, talk to him? And I was so afraid. I was like, but I'm 6 months in. I was like, I'm 6 months in. Like, I know I have the best intentions. I have good training, but am I really ready? And I remember Eileen was the one that motivated me to do that. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be my challenge. I'm gonna go and door knock, which I never ever did in my life. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go and see what happens. I knock on the door, did a tour of the house, and the house needed a lot of work. I mean, it was in a great neighborhood, but it was dated. Yeah. So I talked to him. I gave him some recommendations, including staging. And I was like, I can do this for you. And I just show him, like, the service that we offer as realtors with Weichert, now Weichert Premier. And at the end of the meeting, he was like, where do I sign? And I was like, really? Like, I seriously, I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this person that, I didn't even know, even though we're neighbors, like, and I've heard before that he was, a little cranky and like, and with me, he was amazing. Like, he was so sweet. And he was like, but I want to tell you, like, I have a flip phone. Like, I don't want to be involved in anything. Like, you take care of everything. If you want me to invest in, changing the floors, changing the paint, doing the staging, we can do that, but you take care of everything. So I learned a lot from that first listing. And that's actually when I started with my staging business, because I saw that by doing all these changes to the home, which it cost him like 10,000, and we got 60,000, and it wasn't even the pandemic yet. So it was like a big deal. And for him, he was like, oh my gosh, with this money, I can move on with my life. I can do other things that I want to do. Like, he even wanted to give me the money to reinvest in another property. Like, he was so happy at the end. And I saw the tears in his eyes. And I was like, when I saw that, I was like, this is what I'm meant to be doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And here you are now.
And here I am. Yeah. With all of you.
Well, my first sale, it was actually, I represented the buyer. I met her, this really, fine woman. She was just from head to toe jewelry. Just all made up. Just every time you see her, you're just happy to see her. I met her at a open house, and I'll never forget, because she always even reminds me of this until this day, is when you greeted me at the front door, you said, hi, my love. And so, like, I didn't know her name, but when she came to the door, I'm like, hi, my love, how are you? And as we continue to, go through the house, she didn't end up buying the house that I had originally met her at, but we ended up seeing a couple other properties, and I just remember having butterflies, because the moment we chose a house, and it was time to, like, go to the next process, it's like 10:30 at night, and I'm like, Frank, are you there? I need your help. Like, I'm panicking right now. And so, it was just the whole experience. It ended up being a really good one, but throughout the whole entire time, she didn't even, like, know that I was new. Like, this was actually my first deal. And when it was all said and done, she was referring me to someone else that was in the family, and she goes and say, how long have you been in the business? And I was like, well, it feels like forever. And so, from that point on, like, I actually just seen her like a week ago. We ran into each other at Macy's, and, she's like, oh my God, I love the card that you gave me over the holiday. And, we got to talking, but she still, until this day, she refers me to other clients. And, Frank, I'm just so grateful for him. Throughout the entire transaction, he helped me. It didn't matter whether it was 6 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock at night. Frankie, I need you. He's like, yes, baby. Yes, baby. Yes, baby. And so, it's just to feel that comfort while, it takes those butterflies away. Like, like you don't know what you're doing or, because this is your first sale. And, I'm just so grateful. But yes, that's my lady. I love her. Yeah, so that was my first sale. It was a success. So
Let me just say that I'm glad I'm not the only one that calls Frank at 10.
yeah.
Only one.
That's
Yes.
Always answers, no matter what he's doing.
Yes.
He could be on a walk or
And we have this joke even today, like, because he comes with his tailor who comes and he picks out his suits and everything. And I'm like, listen, I'm trying to get like you. And so I said, your new name is You're the Man 100 Grand. So he said, what does the 100 grand stand for? I said, that money that you put to invest in them suits. That's what, but, but yes, he is amazing. Like, we couldn't have a better mentor like Frank. So.
So my first deal was a listing, and Tammy and Fernanda, they were with me every step of the way. I was so excited to have my first listing, but it was really stressful. I mean, the first buyers that we had accepted their offer, it fell through. So we had to regroup, and I had to look through the list. We had a ton of offers. So I had to regroup, look through the offers, and then finally the second offer we went through. But it was really stressful. I mean, my seller, his mom had passed away, so it was really emotional for him. He was going back and forth, like, should I sell the house? Should I keep the house? He kind of wanted it to be a very quick process, but I had to explain to him, like, it's a step-by-step process. It's not just 1, 2, 3, unfortunately we have to go through the steps, inspections, showings. He was just really overwhelmed. But I will say that I just learned a lot. Like, I learned a lot. I know kind of how to navigate my next listing. And just communication is key. I had to communicate a lot with him, but as well as, his wife at the time.
Okay.
So it was just a lot, but I was happy once I finally got through and made it to the end. It was just really stressful, but it wasn't too bad. I was still excited to get to the closing table.
It was a learning curve for you.
Yes. And he was really appreciative at the end of the day. He knew he had to move because it had too many memories attached to the home. So till this day, he's just so thankful.
And they were lucky to have you as an agent because, again, because you care. And I think, like, we all here, like, we care. We care. And
that's
having...
why he chose to go with me.
Yeah.
I can tell you really care. And this is very emotional for me. It's not just a transaction. This is my childhood home.
It's a roller coaster of emotions for them. And when they have somebody that really cares, it's easier, and even though, again, sometimes you don't have as great of a experience of a process because of something that happened within the process, having a realtor that they can trust, that they can can even talk to about other things, like we even become psychologists. I think every time. So
there were times I had to be on the phone with him.
I remember.
Yeah.
Sympathetic.
Exactly. And that's what he really appreciated most. So I'm so thankful for my first deal. It was definitely a learning experience. And I was constantly learning.
Just seeing you go through that, like, it was, I know it was challenging and it could have been, but the way you handled it,
Exactly.
the way you handled
had to
it,
stay calm.
you stayed calm, you were very supportive to them, and if you needed to vent, you had us. And even then, it was still, your venting was nowhere near, like, some people break and you didn't. So
you did what you had to do.
Yes.
Bring back memories.
So,
Weichert Premier.
Weichert Premier.
Weichert Premier.
Weichert Premier.
Weichert Premier.